Episode 1. Shadows Behind the Picture Frame. Love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's the echo of a choice you didn't know would follow you forever. The golden morning sun filtered through the stained glass windows of the Fernandez villa, casting vivid colors across the polished marble floor. The soft strains of Spanish guitar music played from the antique gramophone near the fireplace. Davina Fernandez, now in her early 40s, sat on a velvet armchair in her art-filled living room, sipping slowly from a glass of red wine. Despite the early hour, her reading glasses perched delicately on her nose as she flipped through an old-fashioned and lifestyle magazine. Her eyes lingered on a page featuring a young model. Not just any model, but a younger version of herself. Bold, radiant, ambitious. A photograph of her at 18, draped in silk and confidence, smiled back at her from the glossy page. The walls around her echoed her past, framed awards, portraits from runways in Madrid and Milan, and a striking oil painting of a riverbank that no one ever asked about. Her son, Jade Fernandez, now 25, sat across the room on a low couch, tapping away on his sleek silver laptop. His dreadlocks were pulled back in a loose tie, and his toned frame suggested a disciplined regimen of early morning jogs and protein shakes. The rhythm of the peaceful morning was broken by a sharp knock at the door. Jade looked up, hesitated, then closed the laptop. "I'll get it," he muttered, walking briskly toward the heavy oak door. As it swung open, he froze. There she stood, Nadia, 23, beautiful in a soft, unfiltered way. Her eyes shimmered with vulnerability, her dark curls bouncing slightly as she stepped forward. "Jade," she whispered. His eyes darted nervously toward his mother, still buried in her magazine. "Come," he said under his breath, quickly stepping outside and closing the door behind him. His grip on Nadia's wrist was firm as he pulled her toward the side garden. "What are you doing here?" he hissed. "I told you not to come to my house." Nadia's voice cracked. "What do you mean? Have I not been here before? Why are you pushing me away?" "Because I need space, okay? My mother's home. This isn't a good time." Her eyes filled with tears. "So I don't matter anymore? What did I do to deserve this?" Jade turned away, jaw clenched. Behind the window curtains, Davina was still, magazine forgotten in her lap, ears tuned to every word. "Please," Jade said, not unkindly. "Go home, Nadia." "Not today," she wiped her tears, nodded silently and turned. Jade watched her walk away before re-entering the villa, trying to mask the storm inside. Davina didn't look up. "So, Jackie yesterday, Nadia today," she said flatly. Jade's heart skipped. "Mama, it's not what you think." She placed the magazine down slowly and looked up. "Do you think I'm blind, Jade? Or deaf?" He bristled. "I'm not a child anymore. This is Papa's house too. I can love who I want." That struck a nerve. Davina stood. "Do you think jumping from girl to girl makes you a man? Do you think you'd even be here if I had lived that way? If I had made careless choices?" Jade swallowed hard, unable to meet her gaze. "Do you know what your father sacrificed for this life you live now? Do you know what I gave up?" Her voice cracked, and for the first time, Jade saw it, tears in her mother's eyes. "I've known love, Jade. Not the kind you find in parties or text messages, but the kind that leaves scars and memories and lessons." Silence fell between them. Then in a softer voice, she opened her arms. "Please, come." Something inside him melted. He stepped forward and she embraced him tightly, her warmth heavy with memory. "There's something I want to show you," she whispered. She led him down the hallway to a quiet room she rarely entered. There she opened an old cedar chest and pulled out a faded photograph. She handed it to him with trembling fingers. Jade studied it. A young woman, his mother, standing at the edge of a tranquil river, sunlight catching in her eyes, wearing a smile he didn't recognize. She looked happy in a way she never looked now. "Who took this?" he asked. Davina exhaled slowly. "A man who never understood its worth. My first love. Before Hector. His name was..." She paused, the name heavy on her lips. Leandro. Jade frowned slightly. "And this photo changed your life?" Davina sat down, her voice distant but strong. That river, that day, it reminded me of the version of myself I had buried, of a time I believed love could conquer everything. It taught me that love isn't always kind, and that sometimes losing it is the only way to find yourself. She closed her eyes, holding the memory tight like a wound she had stopped tending to long ago. Outside, the wind rustled the olive trees. Inside, something had begun to stir, a story buried 19 years deep, aching to resurface. The present melted away like fog under morning sun. The soft voice of Davina echoed in Jade's mind as he stared at the photograph she had just handed him. This was taken by the man who never valued it, the man who once held my heart. And just like that, we are pulled back in time. 20 years earlier, Puerto Nieve, a quiet fishing village in the south of Spain. The sun was just beginning to stretch over the horizon, bathing the world in gold.